Now, I want to tell you about these swathes of crocuses here, because it's a kind of funny story. Okay, I was collecting the crocus seeds one year, and I had a whole handful of them. And down the driveway, I started planting them in a row. And then I was going, God, this is going to take forever. So I came in here and threw some here, and I threw some over here. You can see it's kind of in that thrown gesture of all these crocus seeds. Now, a number of years went by. There's all different colors. I mean, it's gorgeous. They're all coming up in here, but it's the kind of purples and mauvey ones. And these ones are beautiful with their bottoms, deep purple bottoms. 4 years went by. There was nothing here. And then in the 4th year, they all started blooming all over here and over there. And I was going, where did those crocuses come from? Because after 4 years, I'd completely forgotten that I'd collected loads of crocus seeds from our other crocuses. And it wasn't till I was walking down the driveway over there and I looked on my right and there was a line of crocuses. And I was like, oh, these are the crocuses that I threw seeds out into the field because I was getting bored of just planting one seed at a time. And I was like, there's no way they are going to all flower or come to. You know what? I think there's a bumblebee bum in there. Is there a bumblebee? Yeah, look. A bumblebee. That's a bumblebee bum. He's sleeping in the crocus so he can have breakfast. Or she is, rather. It's a queen. Look at that. So when it thaws, breakfast is served. Isn't that lovely? Leave the bumblebee alone. But I was going like, what is that dark in the crocus? Let's see if I can make it light so that you can see what I'm talking about. There. You can see the bumblebee's wings. Fast asleep in the crocus. I love that. So I'm going to show you the line of crocuses that made me remember that I'd thrown seeds about. Problem is they're not as prolific here because a lot of the time I've let sheep graze here, so they've eaten the crocuses. So there's a crocus here, you see right there, and then you go along. There used to be more along here, and here's another crocus as well. And then you come over here and there was a line going back up, and see, there's another crocus, but there were a lot more. Here's a crocus over here. There's another crocus and another crocus. So these crocuses all along here I'd sown from seed, but they've been grazed up a bit. So there's not as many as there could be, or there were. And I hear you say, well, why don't you do more seeds of crocuses? Well, the problem is that pheasants have gotten a taste for crocus seeds. And I did that sowing of crocuses a number of years ago. You can see out in the field here are some more. Look. Right there. More crocuses. I did this sowing a number of years ago, and I've tried to get more crocuses and crocus seeds and collect them, but the pheasants have found them and love eating crocus seeds. Because I'd love to put crocuses under here. This would be great for crocuses. I gotta dig up some of these holly trees and plant them out in the woods. So you can see the daffodils are coming up. Isn't that right, dogs? And all my snowdrops are just going over, sadly. It's the end of snowdrop season and the beginning of daffodil season. So there's not many of these guys left. So we're down at the bottom of the field where the great oak is. You can see those are our woods over there along the ridge. And you come down here and right here is really wet and boggy water. You can see here as well, very wet. So to compensate for the wetness, because we're either going to get really wet more or dry, I'm thinking of planting, a friend gave me some alders. So, and they're great for a lot of the finches, love them. So in this section here, where there are a lot of dead trees, or trees have died, I'm thinking of planting some alders with the beech trees. So there's a beech tree here that I planted behind this fence. But this whole length here, I want to plant beech trees, but also alders, because the alders will drink the water. And they don't mind the water, and will make it less wet for the beech trees. Hey, pups, come on! Oh, Java, I don't want you to turn into strawberry jam. Come on! Java! Oh, there he is. I see him. He sometimes gets out on the road, and people come flying along the road. The other thing I want to plant more of is, this here is a crabapple tree that my grandfather planted a number of years ago. It's a really big, beautiful old one, probably older than me. And we have a whole series of them. And I think I want to plant more of them as well along here, because these horse chestnuts aren't going to last much longer. They're at the end of their lifetime, and there's a disease. Well, there's not. There's an insect that bores into their leaves and makes them not photosynthesize as much. So these horse chestnuts, you can see there's one last big one there. That's a plains tree. That is I can't remember what that is. That might be another plains tree. That's an ash tree, crabapple, horse chestnut, ash, and then horse chestnut further along. So this whole length, if I plant it with baby beech trees and alders, because it's really wet along here, or it can be really wet. And the sun is going to be going down soon. What are you doing? The dogs are all coming over to say hello. So I'm kneeling on the ground, about to put this tire back on. Yeah, no, it's everybody's come. Everybody's come. I can't do anything kneeling on the ground. Silly puppers. Yeah, I know. You're very sweet. Let him you. What you doing up there? Yeah. Nice sunny hot bale of hay. Now I've got to move. Giddy, what do you want? Certain person's ears are beginning to go up. Isn't that right? Yeah, look, we're gonna have German Shepherd ears soon. The flops. The flops. He's only gonna be floppy for so long. So, cats can relax and have a bath. You know the puppy's behaving itself. Planting more snowdrops.